Hi, everybody. Gil. Welcome to Elevate Your Table. In this series, I am going to review recipes, give you cooking tips and cooking hacks, all of which to simplify your cooking experience and take it to the next level. So, whether you cook for an entire family of kids and parents, whether you just cook for your partner, or whether you cook for just yourself, come with me and I'm going to help you elevate your table. Let's friggin' go. So one of the things that I always like to do is add to an existing recipe and or add to something that I'm already doing. So whether I'm just making a piece of chicken or I've just steamed some broccoli or made a piece of salmon, I always look for something to add to it just to take it up a little bit. Also make it visually more interesting. So what I've got here are some cherry tomatoes and a little bit of extra thyme that was just left over from a recipe over the weekend. And I only have a few of these. I bought some brand new ones. These are they're ripe, but they're getting just over the edge. So I was like, what am I going to do with just this amount? Right? You don't want to get rid of it. So this is something I do all the time. It's super easy and super simple. I'm going to show you. So first we're going to start by cutting these bad boys up. So I'm going to start just cutting these guys in half. Nothing crazy, but I don't want to do them in quarters, and I'll show you why later. So I'm also going to take my parchment paper, which I ran under the water, because I did see this a while back. Someone did this, and I didn't realize that parchment paper is parched. That's why you need to do it. So I've added my tomatoes, and now I'm just taking a little bit of my thyme, and I'm just going to put it over there. And then once I do that, I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper too. Doesn't hurt. Now we're going to mix it up. And here's the key. Make sure they're all facing down. And I like to pop them in the toaster oven, slow and low. Okay, so yeah. So I put them in the toaster oven, slow and low, like I said, and then I went around and did a bunch of shit. And I kind of forgot about them a little bit. So some of them got a little charred. Um, some of them came out perfect, but I wouldn't say it's the prettiest thing I've ever done. Um, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe I should do it again. But you know what? In the kitchen, that's just how stuff happens, and sometimes it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. So, like these right here, these are pretty. I like the way these are, and then these over here, these are kind of charred like that. But so I would use these no problem. But I'm also going to show you something else that you could do if you weren't happy the way these looked. Okay, so here's my workaround. What I'm going to do is I grabbed some extra mozzarella that I just had in the refrigerator and a little parsley, and I'm going to basically chop these up with a little of the cheese and some parsley and make like a little side salad. Before I go any further, I threw on some salt, pepper, olive oil, and some extra thyme that I had lying around. If you just have salt and pepper, if you have oregano, if you have spices that you want to use, whatever they are, it's all about getting these from their sort of juicy, like here's a perfect example. You want to get it from this to this because all of this, as it dries out and roasts out, it just gets concentrated on it inside of it. So it becomes like this, like a fresh sun-dried tomato. So what we're just going to do is just going to, cut a bunch of cheese and bunch of parsley, and we're going to put it all together inside of a little bowl and make a little side salad for our dinner. There you go. There it is. I'll see you next time.